Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to your favorite show, The Red Card Weekly. My name is Steve. Tifo il Milan questa settimana e non so incazzato Polillo. I would like to welcome to the show, to my right, Joey. Sometimes I'm the cameraman, sometimes I'm on the show, Tavernais. To my left, Vincenzo. Io tifo Parma, io tifo Fiorentina, io tifo Palermo, io tifo Roma, Gattuso. And as always, the good-looking Francis with his stupid Inter jersey.
Welcome everybody to the Red Card Weekly. We're live from Parkway Rescue Club Grill. And this week, anybody that tells me that soccer is boring does not watch soccer, because we had one interesting week all across Europe with high-scoring games. And first, let's start with Napoli, because they're the co-leaders. We haven't spoken much about them this week. Steve, Napoli 3-0 midweek against Lazio, and they win again. Tough game against Sampdoria. What do you make of it?
Whoever says soccer is boring, Bafangu. Look at the games this week. Napoli is a contender. They are the contender, the only contender in Serie A for Juve. Cavani, El Matador, tripleta, almost a poker. He misses a penalty shot. They destroyed everybody. Today against Sampdoria, tough back-to-back short games in the week. And again, they came out flying, and again, they got the result.
They got a result. And Vince, I know you like to watch Napoli. They're one entertaining team. So far, they've been playing really well. They haven't rotated the bench yet. Do you think they could keep it up at this pace?
Seeing what they did last year, they struggled at the end, and their Rosa is those 11 starters.
But guys, if Cavani gets hurt, who's there to replace?
Cavani gets hurt, it's finished. With Lavezzi gone, it's finished. They have no more goals coming from nowhere.
And talking about Lavezzi's gone. Steve, Amsic is back to his old self. He had a rough season last year. Amsic is the real deal this year.
Amsic has always been the real deal. What a monster in the midfield. Today, the goal, he looked like a white Usain Bolt. He took off from the top of the 18 and he reached to the other side of the 18 in 10.2 seconds, almost a world record time. He's a fantastic midfielder. Very underrated.
One more thing, Insigne did a cameo of maybe 10-15 minutes against Lazio, lit up the game, put the game alive. Lazio could not contain him. Vince, do you think Insigne is going to get more time? Pandev seems to have a bit of a hard time. He's getting older. Do you see Insigne getting more time for the rest of the season?
I think he will get more time.
Stop. You're going to look at the camera,
okay,
and you're going to talk. Because here on the Red Card Weekly, us, we don't fuck around.
So, I do think he's going to get more time. He brought up Pescara with Zeman, brought up those players, Ciro Immobile and Verratti that went away from Italy. And I do think Lorenzo Insigne is going to be the real deal.
So guys, Insigne player to watch. Joe, you have more to say about that?
Just not to go away from that game, but yeah, it was a 3-0 result. But what Miroslav Klose did this week, to me, is pure class. He scored with his hand. They allowed the goal. He went to the ref and said, no, I scored with my hand. They disallowed the goal. Too bad they lost 3-0. But you know what? Heads up to him. He has nothing to be ashamed of.
3 points to close it for that.
Yeah.
Too bad Lazio could not keep up with the game. Big game this weekend. Everybody at Roma is a contender. They dropped some points here and there. This was their chance to prove that they were the real deal and everything.
I did think.
They got smashed 4-1, 3-0 at halftime. What do you make of this
Hold
game?
on, they got smashed 3-0 in the first 18 minutes. Zeman had zero game plan for that. It's impossible to think that your team's going to do that. But your team, if they're a contender, has to be prepared.
Steve, you're the Milan expert. This week, for once, we have a Romanista. So I'm asking Vince a question so people cannot say we're biased. Vince, what did you make of the game?
Juve is too strong. Juve is too strong. Juve is the best team in Serie A this year. I don't think that anybody's going to stop them.
So basically the way Roma played is just because they play against Juve?
They play against Juve.
So you don't think they're going to play like that next week?
I still think Roma is going to be up there. I still think you're going to see Roma in your top 5.
Guys, I don't see Roma. I thought at the beginning of the season Roma was a top 3 contender. With players like Taxidis, I don't know where they found this guy. The Greek. There's no way Roma can maintain a top 5 finish. It's impossible. They're horrible at the back. It doesn't make sense. Joey?
Roma Roma is going to be last year's Milan. They're going to beat everybody when it comes to the Inter games, Juve games, and the Milan games. They're going to drop their points and they're going to finish third, fourth.
One more thing. Destro came on the second half, didn't start the game. Lamela was having a bad game. Totti. Now Totti showed his age this weekend. He couldn't get to the ball, couldn't keep up with the game. Totti, should like the young guys start getting more time with Roma or?
Unfortunately, Totti is the golden child of Rome. There is no one who's going to. Unfortunately, because he's at a point in his career where he cannot play the 90 minutes full. He cannot be an impact to Roma. If he would just settle down a bit and try to guide these new kids into a new age Roma, they will be able to continue to compete.
Totti is Roma. I don't know if you watched Inter Roma and.
Okay, but that's another game. But Vince, you're telling us a Romanista that you're seeing Totti starting every game this year.
We don't see that. But
you wouldn't rather for him to play 30 minutes a game?
Yes, the way Del Piero did it last year, slowly walked away, but
I think that, to be very honest with you, the Roma hierarchy are actually a bit happy when he gets hurt. Depending on which game he gets hurt for, he's actually happy. Because it gives him an excuse to try someone else without upsetting the dressing room and upsetting the team. That's unfortunately the situation that they have in Rome.
To back up Vince for this weekend's game, no Totti, no De Rossi, Stecklenburg, nobody showed up, so nobody had an impact on the game. So you can't really base yourself on that one game.
Anyways, hopefully Roma gets back in form and they'll be able to show us some exciting soccer, which Roma could probably do.
Mattia Destro, sorry to interrupt, Mattia Destro, I think he's going to be a young star for the Italians. I don't know.
So he should start playing, right?
Yeah, he should start playing, but like you guys are saying, Totti still has his place there. So.
Okay, another team I want to talk about, guys, this week, Fiorentina. Midweek tied Juve, they should have won the game. They really took the game to Juve. Fiorentina could be a surprise package. Top 5 finish this year. They played Inter today. They lost. They could have gotten a result out of it. What do you guys make of Fiorentina, Steve?
I think Fiorentina is going to be the Jekyll and Hyde team of Serie A this year. You never know from week to week what you're going to get. Against Juve, due to the people not showing us our just due of soccer, we use the internet to stream some games and to look at the highlights, and you get bits and pieces of it. From what you saw in the midweek to what you saw today against Inter was two completely different teams. Un-Montella-like teams. Montella, he was at Rome and he was doing a good job. He went to Catania and he did a good job. He's at Fiorentina now and he seems to have them organized. Today, they were disorganized. But against Juve, they were very organized.
But yeah, that's it. They're a team that pressed. Even today, at some points, they were pressing Inter. They were bothering that. They really took over that midfield against Juve. That's one. There's no other team that has beaten Juve in the midfield this year. Fiorentina was the first team to do it. And against Genoa, Juventus came back after the first half. That answers. This week, Juve had no answers for Fiorentina second half. I thought that maybe we saw some signs of weakness from Juve, but with the performance they gave this weekend, obviously not. Going back to Inter Fiorentina, guys, fantastic first half by Inter, right? Cassano took over the game.
Yeah, it was a nice first half by Inter. Have to admit it, they were distributing the ball properly, but also Inter. We speak all the time. I told you what I think about Inter. I don't think they're as good as advertised. I give them that they're much better than other teams, but they're not.
So when you say as good as advertised, what do you mean? Because nobody thinks they're going to win the championship, right?
No, but everybody says
top
they're
3 finish.
No, I don't think they're a top 3 finish.
So who's finishing in front of them if it's not them?
I don't know. The Serie A
the only
this year,
team possibly is Napoli, right?
It's for sure. Napoli's ahead of them for sure.
Not for sure, but possibly. Inter's the top 3 finish team.
Napoli's ahead of them for sure.
Getting back, Joey, seeing Cassano performing the way he's been with Inter, we have to talk about it.
Yeah.
We see Pazzini not doing much to his defense. He's not getting any service. Plus, we got $7 million for Cassano. How do you feel as a Milanista to see Cassano playing like this?
To tell you the truth, now we have Cassano or not this year. For Milanista, it doesn't make a difference, but you know what? He's doing well. Defensive Pazzini, he's played one full game. He's got his hat trick. We won that game. Other than that,
But you can't say that Cassano would have helped Milan. He has that creativity that nobody else at Milan has. I think he feels appreciated at Inter. He's playing for fun. He feels like he's the guy at Inter.
Appreciated at Inter. More appreciated than Milan. They saved his life.
Oh, stop.
He's a mercenary. He plays well, and that's it.
Steve, it's
fine.
like you buy an expensive car, you just bought it and it's broken.
No, he's a mercenary. He's a mercenary. He's a gypsy. He's exactly like Ibrahimovic. It was a dream to play at Barca. It was a dream to play at Juve. It was a dream to... He's always having a dream, Igor.
Anyways.
And Cassano's always having the dream.
I can see that it's really bothering the Milanista fans that Cassano's playing this well with Inter. They didn't think...
Next subject.
Anyways, we'll talk about it later. Milan, guys, because you want to talk about Milan. This week, they seem to have stabilized things. They get a win against Cagliari 2-0. They get a draw against Parma 1-1. And El Shaarawy's been scoring goals for them.
I think he finally arrived in Serie A. I don't know about you, but I think El Shaarawy is finally arrived.
El Shaarawy, very good from Il Piccolo Faraone, very nice, a good result against Cagliari this weekend, a goal. Milan is going to be Milan. We're going to have to suffer all year with this stupid team, and unfortunately, not as positive as Vince Tavernais, who's not here. We replaced him by his brother.
I'm positive too, by the way.
And he's positive too. So basically, we traded 4 quarters for $1.
All right, guys. Next week, the big derby, Inter against Milan. Let's ask the outsider first. What do you think? Any predictions, Vince? How do you think the game will go? Do you have a final score? What do you think for the derby next
I
week?
predict a boring game, 1-1 draw.
Oh, no. Next week will be all but boring. For sure, guys, going to be goals. Both teams, we can see there be goals.
7-4. 7-4 game next week.
I call it could be a 3-2 game next week.
I don't think, I have to admit, I have to be biased. We're on the show, we love the Red Card Weekly, we want everybody to go online. I can't say what I really feel inside. I think Milan's going to suffer playing a big team, and there's going to be a defeat, and it's going to probably be a high-scoring game, yes.
If Allegri wakes up and puts the lineup he put midweek, I'm not saying that we're going to come out and we're going to win. We're going to have a better chance.
So what do you want to see, Joey? What do you want to see? What's the lineup in your head that you want to see against Inter?
First of all, Ambrosini shouldn't even be on the bench, for me. He should start Mexes. I don't know why he didn't start him on Saturday. He should have at least Mexes. Abate's been playing well. At least in the midfield, you're going to have Urbi. Urbi didn't play this weekend either. I don't know why. Acerbi's been on the bench.
Okay, but you, what do you want to see? Now, you're Allegri next week again in the derby. What do you want to see?
First of all, Shaarawy, you can't take him out, right?
Okay,
Shaarawy's
play.
playing. Pato might be back this weekend, but not you put him at the end of the game. I would like to see Pazzini, obviously against Inter on the field, and the defense you gotta play the Mexes because he's rough. He's rough. You gotta play. He's gonna stop them, but other than that,
The key to the derby next week is Boateng filtering back into the midfield and winning the midfield. Until that happens, there is no Milan.
The way I look at it is Inter has to sit back, absorb Milan like a sponge, and just counter them because they're horrible at the back. And with the pace, with our pace, we're winning this game next week, guys. I call it a 3-1 or 3-2 Inter derby win. We'll make it 3 in a row for us. Yes?
I call it a tie. 2-2 tie.
Anyways, guys, that's it for our Serie A segment. There's more to come in our second segment. And obviously our traditional red card of the week. See you in the second segment. Bafangu! Bafangu! How long was that?